Motivation is better than discipline. And I know this video is gonna get a lot of hate and a lot of people commenting, oh, but discipline, this is not. Look, I'm not saying discipline is not important. Okay, discipline is absolutely important, of course, right? You're gonna have some days where you don't feel like doing something, but you still gotta do it, right? There's gonna be some days where you don't want to go to the gym, but you need to go, right? Those are the initial stages of like self improvement. Um, but once you actually find a reason to go to the gym, a reason to eat clean, right? And you actually become actually happy from going to the gym. You're gonna understand what I mean by why motivation is more important than discipline. Okay, and here's the thing: there's nothing wrong with being motivated. I don't know why there's so much like backlash and like uh, there's so much against motivation. Motivation is amazing, right? Let's say if we made you 25% more motivated, right? Let's say we somehow like injected something into your brain, or like we found a trick to make your brain just, or we just clicked our fingers, right? And we made you 25% more motivated, right? Let's just say we clicked our fingers and we made you 25% more motivated, right? Or if you were to pay for your motivation, would you do it? You probably would, right? That's a lot of more motivation, right? That would mean you would miss less workouts. You would grind out more in life, and you would enjoy genuinely like doing these things. And honestly, you can do this for free. The way you do it is by going on a dopamine detox, right? Avoiding being on social media all the time, like scrolling and eating clean, of course, because eating clean will make you happier, bring you a more happy life. Going out in the sun, pretty much doing basic self improvement habits, meditation, just doing these simple things and avoiding eating junk food, watching porn, and actually improving your mental health. You will be more motivated to do the hard things. Like imagine that. That is such a fucking superpower, right? And of course, getting to this level where you are more motivated than you need discipline, right? Because of course we need discipline, but having motivation is absolutely amazing because motivation is better than discipline, motherfucker. Like, if you're more motivated, right? Because motivation is the sole driver of the human fucking race. Not, it was never discipline. It was literally just fucking motivation to clap cheeks to fuck girls, right? The whole reason why testosterone exists in the first place, right? That was the biggest motivator, and it should be one of the biggest motivators for men. One of the biggest motivators for us men, and even though we don't want to admit it, even though we want to be cool, oh no, I don't care about girls, bro. It's women. Women are top notch, like motivation for us men, right? The whole reason why you're doing this is because of a woman. The whole reason why you started going to the gym, because I can admit it, bro. I have the fucking balls to admit that I started going to the gym because I wanted to attract more girls, and it's motivated me heavily. But of course, I still had to use discipline to become more motivated. And now I'm I just love going to the gym. I love working out. It brings me a self of like of satisfaction. I'm more motivated now than ever to actually work out. And that's not a bad thing, right? To crave the or be a little bit addicted to the good thing, to the good habits. Now, of course, I don't overtrain and do all these things, right? But if you're more motivated to do the right things, to do the right habits, to the point that it brings you a sense of enjoyment where discipline brings you a sense of enjoyment. It's no longer discipline at that point. It's just motivation. And it's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. Imagine that, bro. Imagine your life right now. Right now, you're probably using a lot of discipline, right? But imagine you actually lock in and you do the habits that I talked about right now. Like, like there's no shortcut for this. You literally start doing meditation. You start doing the dopamine detox. You stop the bad habits. You start being more motivated. You have like in your mind. You don't have to write this down, but if you want to, um, in your mind that you're a little bit more motivated now because you understand, oh, I'm doing this for a girl, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? And the more you do the things like the good habits, lifting weights, going out and socializing with other fucking human beings, right? Actually going outside, going out in the sun, playing some type of sport, doing all these things, they start becoming more fun when you have a motivation, a reason to understand that these things are going to improve your life. And then when you actually see results, you stick to this fucking journey. You do not quit. You keep going forward. You use your discipline. And whenever you're motivated, you absolutely take fucking action when you're motivated. And you keep going. You don't overthink things. You just keep going. You don't quit. Some days you're going to be like, some days you might even watch porn. You might jerk off. You might play video games. But you fucking like stick to this fucking journey, right? And you say, I am not that type of guy. I'm the type of guy that's motivated to work hard, to lift weights, to talk to girls and have fun with other human beings. And you discipline yourself to do these things, to improve yourself, which by the way, I have a full-on program that teaches you how to do this in full-on detail. So click that link in the description. But of course, my videos are still gonna help you. Um, you actually motivate yourself. Okay, bro. Your life is gonna improve. Your life is gonna improve when you use your motivation, when you improve your motivation. I'm telling you, if you do the habits that I told you, if you follow like my framework of like improving your mental health, which is simply just meditation, gratitude journaling in the morning, um, lifting weights, eating clean. It's as simple as that. It's such a simple protocol, and also cutting out bad habits and viewing yourself as a type of guy, a new version of yourself, killing your old version of yourself, right? The old version of yourself that's addicted to porn, video games, junk food, scrolling, and creating the new version of yourself, you're gonna be more motivated, right? Because you become the type of guy that's motivated to do the right things. Right now, you're using a lot of discipline, which, of course, it's not bad to use discipline. I'm not saying that, but motivation is way better than discipline. Discipline should be like something that you use in emergencies. You know, like you use, I don't know, like fuck. What's a good example for this? Like you use the emergency brake on your car when your normal brake doesn't work, right? That's what I mean. Like that should be your discipline. Of course, discipline is to keep going forward. Or oh no, I have a better example. Let's say your car had two fuels. Let's just say, for example, and let's say you have like the motivation fuel, right, in your car, and then you have the discipline fuel. You have um of course, motivation is going to be, let's say, higher for some reason, right? And your discipline one is going to be a little bit lower. And whenever you run out of your motivation, you have to use the discipline gas um, for your car to propel forward. This is what I mean. Like motivation is going to be usually higher, right? If you actually like follow the steps that I talked about in this video, if you actually follow my advice, you should be more motivated for life in general. And honestly, you should enjoy things more. Let's not call it just motivation, but enjoyment of life and motivation. Let's put that as the fuel, right? And usually you tend to do more things when you enjoy them more, right? You tend to do that thing more. You're addicted, let's say, to doing the good habits. And that's your first fuel. Let's say once you run out of that fuel, which honestly takes a while for it to run out, um, you have to use the emergency fuel, which is your discipline, right? And we don't want to use our discipline first. We want to use our motivation first. And then once we use, now sometimes it's not going to be that way, right? Sometimes you're gonna have to use your discipline. But this is what I mean. Like you're gonna run out of motivation sometimes, and you're gonna have to use fucking discipline and willpower to push through, to push that car through, to gain more momentum, to keep the momentum up, to gain and keep the momentum up. At first, honestly, a lot of us start with the discipline first, and then the motivation on the side, and that's okay. The more you use your discipline and willpower and you actually change your identity, you become a new type of person. Your fuel changes. The way you use your fuel changes. Instead of being the guy who's just fully fucking locked in on discipline, hard work, and grind, and you actually fucking enjoy the fucking work, right? When you're more motivated, you excel. Because the whole point of why you're doing things in the first place is because you were motivated to start. If you weren't motivated to start, if that little spark didn't like shine because of heartbreak, because you viewed yourself as some guy who was like struggling in life and you understood that, oh, fuck, I don't want to be in this spot. I don't want to be average. I don't want to be mid. I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to be fucking better. I hate being in this spot because I'm depressed. I fucking hate my life. I hate the fact that I fucked up so many times and it's my fucking fault. Once you realize these things, right? Usually you're more motivated either way. Like in a weird way, yeah, you use discipline to push through in these habits. But like at first, it all started with that spark, with that motivation. This is why I say motivation is more important than discipline. Because without motivation, honestly, there wouldn't be a reason for us to be disciplined, right? Think about that for a second. If you weren't motivated in the first place to improve yourself, you wouldn't need to be using discipline. You would stay stuck as a fucking loser without your like this like sense of like enlightenment that your brain brought to you that, oh shit, I need to improve myself. You wouldn't motivate yourself. Like just think about that for a second. And there's a lot of guys out there that are gonna say like nowadays, like on social media, everyone fucking hates on motivation. Motivation is amazing. Motivation is the whole reason why you as a fucking human being are alive today. Because your parents were motivated to fuck each other. So I'm telling you, of course, you're gonna need discipline. I'm not saying discipline is not important, of course. Masculinity, this and that, but um part of that is that like part of being a man is that you're motivated for a mission, a goal, a purpose, right? Most of the times you're going to enjoy working towards that goal. Then you're going to use discipline. Of course, again, you're going to have to use discipline every now and then. I'm not saying discipline is not important, but motivation is better than discipline. Keep that in mind. Write this on your fucking wall or something like. Actually, I want you to write two phrases on your fucking like a piece of paper, stick it up on your wall. Number one, motivation is better than discipline, but discipline is still needed. Okay, I want you to write that first phrase. And the second phrase is pleasure is not fun. Like um I'll explain to you what that means. So pleasure is not fun. Instead, right, discipline is fun. And the reason this is because the pleasures that I'm talking about is like scrolling on your phone, eating junk food, watching porn. All these things are not actually enjoyable. These actually sap away the motivation and your enjoyment for life. Right? Think about that for a second. Like these bad habits take away that from you. Drugs, video games, junk food, porn, um, scrolling, overstimulating your brain with dopamine, right? All these things sap away your motivation and everything. When you do things that are uh, disciplined, those things become fun over time, right? And you're more motivated to do these things. So write those two phrases down. Motivation is better than discipline, but discipline is still needed. And pleasure is not fun. Discipline is fun. Because when you do the right things, right? You have a positive feedback loop in your brain, and you start being more positive towards everything, and this motivates you even more. Like if you want a hack for infinite motivation, bro, just keep doing the right things. Don't worry about you messing up on the bad habits, right? Because you're gonna mess up every now and then. I did for a while, right? Even more recently, like I started playing more video games. Like in the past, like at the first part of this year. And honestly, I fucking regret it because it was just a fucking waste of time. I wasn't like progressing as much as I could have in like my fitness journey on YouTube. And now I'm back, bro. Like my one of my recent videos just got a bunch of fucking views. Like you can go check. Like it literally just from like in 3 days, which I hadn't had this in a while, right? Mind you, I hadn't posted on this channel for like months or probably a year. I can't remember. And I posted like I don't know, like 7 videos, and my seventh one just like is fucking blowing up right now because I started to discipline myself and I'm more motivated now. So these are the things you can achieve once you like actually like get rid of the fucking bad habits, the pleasurable habits, and you start focusing on the good habits, on actually improving yourself. Like I've achieved so much just because of this advice that I'm saying motivation is better than discipline, but I still use discipline, of course. But now that I'm more motivated to do the right thing, because honestly, I fucking hate doing the wrong thing. It's like it makes me feel worse. Like whenever I like scroll on my phone or I eat junk food, all this brings me down my happiness. Because for you, because of the fact that your baseline of let's say happiness or enjoyment of life is so low, um, because of your poor mental health, trauma, and shit like that, eating junk food brings you to a new high. You know what I mean? Like you right now, let's say you're at a 4 out of 10 of like enjoyment of life, and whenever you do a bad habit, you go up to a 7, right? For me, it's the opposite. Like I'm more of like an 8 to 9 of happiness, right, and baseline enjoyment, right? Whenever I eat junk food or I scroll or I watch porn or I play video games, this actually brings me down to a 7 or a 6, right? My enjoyment of life, like it goes down because these things bring me down. My enjoyment. The reason why you keep doing the bad habits is because your enjoyment of life, your baseline, and all these things is a 4 out of 10. Right? That's my autistic way of explaining it. Okay. Actually, honestly, that's a bro science way of explaining it. But honestly, like if you improve your mental health, if you follow the shit that I talk about in my channel, you're more and you motivate yourself like saying, fuck it, I can fucking do this. Okay, I wanna have a girlfriend eventually, or I wanna have the attraction for women, whatever it is that your goal is, like on the side, right? Of course you have to have another other goals, right? Like building a good physique. And remember, bro, there's nothing wrong with being motivated by women. That's actually a great thing. That means you're not fucking gay. Like if you're motivated for women, you're a fucking straight man with two testicles, right? Because only men who are gay aren't motivated by women. Only men who are gay say, "Oh no, I'm just focused on myself, bro." How do I get bitches? These guys are the same guys that are honestly still trying to get girls. So don't lie to yourself and say I'm not doing this for women. Like you're doing this for women, bro. The whole reason why we started self improvement was for girls. So I want you to keep that in mind as one of the motivators of your life. Of course, I'm not saying don't focus on lifting weights, on all these things, but as a young man, bro, like talking to girls, trying to improve your skill with them is not there's nothing wrong with that. And leveling up leveling up in your physique, your social skills right now is probably even more important than like making money, right? Because if you want like better enjoyment of your life, improving your dating life, also your friendships and lifting weights. All these things are honestly more important when you're young. Like I realized this more recently because honestly the thing that I focus mostly like throughout my teenage years. I'm still a teenager, right? I'm 17, about to be 18, and I'm still gonna focus this for a little bit longer. Has been relationships and the way I look, my popularity, attractiveness, all these things, right? Um, I've entered like more seasons of like having fun and enjoying myself because this way you're not a weirdo. Like once you do achieve success, like I say, you start a business or you get a career or you get your dream career and you work a job and shit like that. You honestly missed a big opportunity, um, which is socializing in school. Like socializing in school is so easy. Socializing when you're outside is so easy, especially when you're young, right? Because you can mess up more. You have more time to mess up. With the older you get, the less time you actually have to mess up. So I'm telling you right now, use women as motivation. Um, go speak to women. There's nothing wrong with this. Okay. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Ricky Cervantes, and I'm here to help you improve yourself as a man. So remember, motivation is better than discipline, and use women as motivation. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, that's another thing I wanted to say, like a big point of this video. Because if a lot of you guys out there, probably you yourself, right? You and probably whoever watches this video, bro. A lot of you guys say I'm not focused on women. I don't give a fuck about women. You're a fucking pussy. You're a bitch, and you still care about women. By the way, so be honest with yourself, bro. At least be honest with yourself and say, okay, I'm motivated by women. I love women. I'm attracted to women. I'm not fucking gay, right? And honestly, I just suck with women. Like, just be honest with yourself. You have my respect if you're honest with yourself and say you suck with women. I sucked with women. I used to be terrible. I used to be socially like awkward and shy. Now I'm not, right? Now I'm not because I follow this advice that I've literally like I talk about in all my videos. Now, if you want more videos like this, go to the subscribe button. Also, check out the program. Other than that, bro, peace out. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.